Okay. Well, hello, hello, beautiful stars. Okay, okay. Hi. If you're just now catching this, the reason I'm kind of sounding like that is because I it was doing the little swirly dance. It was swirling. I wasn't connecting. It wasn't doing what it needed to do over at the YouTube. So, hmm, that's why you caught me in that kind of zone. So, hi everybody. Hi. I'm Courtney, host of Stars and Morning Light, and this is a hangout with Courtney, kind of late on a Monday night. Usually, I do want to do this later in the week, but right now, my schedule permits for this right now. Normally, this is a ask, just ask me whatever's going on. Ask me any questions. It's hangout time. Hanging out on a Monday, though, I don't think really would work for too many people, but I got a lot going on. This week is my summer sale, on top of getting ready to leave to go visit my mother. And so, yeah, night. That's where we're at. And I see that Chloe came in. Congratulations, my dear. Yes, Queen, do you? Yes. So Chloe just like solidified her business. Chloe's Crystals. Go check it out. She's got a channel here, folks. Chloe's Crystals. Go check it out. And now she's got her business going. A website is about to, you know, be published. Everything's rocking and rolling. This I'm so excited. I'm congratulations, darling. I'm so happy for you. Whoa. Did you just see a doe with 3 babies? That's what Chloe just said in the chat. That's so amazing. Oh. Oh. It's interesting where I live here in northern Georgia. Yes, we have deer. Of course we do. Deer's everywhere here in the States, but nothing compared to northern Illinois. Like, I barely ever see deers in comparison to they were everywhere in northern Illinois. Uh, that's wonderful, my dear. That's lovely. Oh, a mama and her babies. Yes. Chloe just said, "I didn't know deer could have triplets." Yeah, yeah. That might just mean there's a whole, like some deer, they all travel together. Like, I do know that. I mean, this is why when you're driving in your car and you see one deer cross, you really gotta be cautious because there's gonna be a ton of them coming. So maybe it's not, like, all of hers. Maybe she's just the one front and center, and they're following her when the other moms are somewhere else. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of them having triplets either. Never. So it's gotta be something maybe like that. Gotta be. Yeah. Yeah, gotta be. Yeah, where I'm from, I wanna say back in the late 80s or 90s, they actually the counties and the forest preserves would actually hire professional hunters, and I mean very professional hunters, um, to have to really bring down the population of deer in the most ethically way possible. Um, because if not, they were going to destroy the entire ecosystem. I mean, that's how much deer there are where I come from. I mean, they're everywhere. And one time I was living, when I was in high school and after high school, I was living in what is a very big trailer park. And when I say very big trailer park, it had its own like zip code in a way. It had a restaurant, a beauty shop, a corner store, a police station, a laundromat, all inside of a very closed off trailer park. Yeah, you want to talk about where do you put people that aren't necessarily in prison? But, so it was a very interesting place. I mean, it has its own police station, it has its own everything. It's just wild. All inside of a trailer park. So with, a baseball field, soccer field, clubhouse, like everything. Wild. I've never seen anything like it anywhere else. Really how that happened, by the way, is that many, many, many years before, like 150 years before, way, way back, that was actually like the county dump, like just, where everybody threw the garbage. So take hundreds of years of people just, this is where we're throwing our garbage, right? Well, over time, they had to move the county dump. Well, um, you can't do anything on that land. You can't build on it. You can't really build on it. So you put trailers on it. So, anyways, that's how that happened. Um, and there's a story that because there was a lake there too. This is wild. I never really thought about it. There's a lake there too, and there used to be all these towny stories about how Al Capone actually dumped some bodies in that lake. So, whatever, probably did. Who knows? So, but up there, even in something like that, and then it's just city all around it, right? It's just like this weird dot, this place on the map, and then a whole lot of city around it. Um, Even deer all within the trailer park, just deer everywhere, deer, deer, deer. And one time in high school, because we also had severe coyote issues. I mean, you were just gonna run into a coyote all the time, deers and coyotes. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to sleep, I'm in high school, and if you've ever heard, like, a pack of coyotes kill something and then celebrate, the sounds that they make, it can be terrifying at, like, 2 something in the morning, and you're, like, home alone. What the fuck? It was wild. Oh, all them coyotes, man. I have a good friend, Victor, who's, he's Cherokee. And he told me, he said, "Where do you think we came up with all those sounds? That stuff is terrifying. Where do you think we came up with all of our, battle cries and whatnot?" And I was like, "That's wonderful. I'm learning so much about the Cherokee Nation." See, I never got to learn because being where I'm from, you learn about different nations. You learn about the nations you come from. You learn about the nations, in the North. Coming down here, everybody's Cherokee, and I'm learning so much stuff. It's so fascinating and very rich. It's lovely. So, Chloe's the only one in here so far. Kind of surprised about that, but that is fine. It is Monday. It is a Monday. So, any questions from anyone, anywhere, at any time? And if not, I will just keep talking, talking about whatever. Oh, Chloe just said a really sad sound is when a hawk gets something. Yeah, and it that scream. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Um, oh my God, a couple 2, 3 years ago. Hmm. Yeah, it was probably like 2023, 2022, somewhere in there. I had this hawk that continuously was like it was following me, and it would do this like weird scream. And I'd be like, "Dude, what are you trying to tell me?" And, first, it's not even that. It's like, "Are you following me? Are you following me?" I mean, it was just following me when I would leave the house to walk the dog, if I was in my neighbor or if I was in my yard, if I I kid you not, even if I, like, ran up to the gas station or something, this hawk is following me. So I'm walking the dog, and it's doing that, it's, like, calling out, following me, it's, like, trail I would stop with the dog, 'cause the dog would stop, and then it would make a sound, it would, like, perch in the tree and make a sound, and I'm like so eventually, I'm like, "Dude, what do you need to tell me? Because clearly there's something you need to tell me." And honestly, I don't even remember what the message was. But birds are messengers. I mean, they're reported as winged messengers in pretty much every culture known. Yeah. Um, hmm. I don't even remember what the message was, but that one was definitely following me. And you know what I also heard that is kind of unique, um, is apparently people will say that hawks don't fly together. I don't know about that, because where I live, over my house, and it might just be my house, I don't know, but over my house, I'll be outside all the time, and there's 3 hawks, circling around. 3. And I guess I've heard that's unique, that they usually don't fly together, but, I don't know. I don't know. The last time I drove down to Biloxi, which I'm gonna have to do next week, um, I was driving and it was kind of a intense reason why I was going to go visit family and whatnot. And I was thinking in my head and sorting it all out and just like, just stay calm, Courtney type thing. Cause it was more of an intense my stepdad had died. And as clarity kind of came to me of like just more, not so much even be the light, just go with whatever flow is going to happen, right? More clarity than that. All of a sudden, this hawk, huge, it went past the car, it came back and, like, was flying towards my windshield. I made eye contact with this guy, hardcore eye contact with him, and then the moment I'm like, "Oh my goodness." I'm so captivated by I'm seeing this entire frontal view, and it was a very large hawk. I'm thinking it was a hawk. Honestly, I'm not sure because it was very big, and it's coming right towards my front shield, and the moment it looks like it's about to fly into my window, voop, it went right over the car. I mean, and I was like, "Wow, if that's not more of a sign to the clarity that I was having." I don't even know what to tell you. Yeah. Oh, Chloe just said that's magical. They don't. I think she was responding to the whole they don't fly in threes. Sometimes I wish my husband was in this room so he could verify. Like, yeah, we do. We see that. Um, yeah, yeah, there's always three. There's always three just circling over my house. I'm just hanging out. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Um, that reminds me of one time I'm in Chicago. I think I'm driving to school and I'm sure I'm running real late. And I'm probably driving crazy down the highway. Who knows? The highway was pretty clear, but all of a sudden, the truck that I'm approaching, he was carrying a whole bunch of stuff and a big sheet plate window. Think like skyscraper size window. Wild. Flew off the back of his truck. I am the car behind him. Flew off the back of his truck, hit the ground, and at that point, it shattered into just larger pieces, but because of the velocity and the hit and whatnot, all of the larger pieces, everything flew over my car and I'm watching in the rearview mirror just shatter all over the interstate and people trying to get away from it and all like chaos. And I'm thinking, I was sure in that moment, okay, I'm gonna die. Like there was nothing I could do between me and that truck and that huge ass plate of window glass. It had to been like skyscraper stuff. It was massive. Just flew off his truck, hit the ground, broke into like 3 or 4 big pieces, flew over my car, and then caused a lot of collisions behind me. That I will say. I felt so bad for those people. I don't think anybody died, but you could see like yeah, because I mean, how there's always stuff on the road. There's always things we gotta get around. There's always accidents happening. Pretty random when it's a big sheet of glass like that. It's like really pretty random. And then it's like just glass flying everywhere. It was just yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh, she said Shelly just said I would have flipped out. Yeah, there's been so many times that you ever have times like this? Maybe you guys know, and if you're watching this later, leave a comment below. When stuff like that happens, is that what people refer to as like a shift in the timeline? Or, oh, I did, exit and but I'm immediately back in some new timeline or time frame or something. Uh, I don't because I know what I mean when I say time shifts, but I think everybody's got their own kind of idea. And I do know that kind of stuff does happen. Like Brad had an accident when we first got together that he should have definitely probably not have made it. My husband's got beings that watch over that man. Um, he definitely shouldn't have probably made it. And he came out of it with nothing. Like he was fine. No one knows how. The cops were freaked out. The medical people were freaked out. Like, how is this even possible? Um, I do know that that was a major shift in the timeline. Like Brad was supposed to be no more. But because X, Y, and Z happened prior to that big event, things shifted. And this is why this is me. I talk often about how like there's not really a thing of destiny. Like destiny is the choices you make then kind of play out. And we can always change in the moment. I always told my students from the past in my old life of teaching that it's not our past that defines who we are, it's what we choose in the moment. Because we can always, surprise ourselves and choose vastly different than we've ever done, right? That a lot of people I know destiny is a beautiful word and a beautiful idea, but it makes it seem like everything's written in the stars or written in the Akashic, and it's not like that. I mean, our choices, create what ends up being destiny, right? Ends up being our story. But I will tell you there are fate moments, I would say. Fate moments. I have no problem using that term as in fated, right? It's fated. As in that's based on like soul contracts, that's based on big moments that you probably decided before you even got here. Like, yeah, I grew up in Illinois, but in 2015, I'm going to move down to Georgia. That is kind of something that you've already decided on before you got here, and it's faded in a way, as in a lot of the cards that you play, a lot of the decisions that you make are going to keep kind of bringing you back to that. Keep kind of bringing you back to that. Like when I was in college, I wrote a beautiful story about a woman named Grace who lived in Georgia. I had no idea until I moved down here, looking back at my, like, teens and early 20s, how much I actually really wanted to be down here. Never even thought about it. I just was writing stories. I was just doing whatever. Never even thought about it. That kind of thing. The cards that we do play, the decisions we do make, the things that kind of spark in our minds, creativity, relationships, what have you, they do lead to some pivotal things that you had already designed, right? That you had already designed, like your first marriage. Yeah, that was fated, right? Like that's a soul contract that, yeah, probably needed to happen, right? Something like that. Not all the details, not all the reasons why you even got divorced, but that, yeah. So those are how I define those two things. That destiny is not really the details to your life story, your soul's journey is definitely not set in stone. Nothing's set in stone. Except we do know before we get here that these big things, moving across country, the person you marry, the kids you give birth to, that sort of thing, very much based on soul contracts, that those key big moments, or the person you don't marry, you're a runaway bride, big key moment that that is fated. That is you've put it there for a reason. All the details as to what you do with it and how it comes into being, yeah, that's written day by day. That's sincerely written day by day. That's my definitions of things. Yeah. Chloe said, like, with the car, it sounds like a Final Destination film. Oh my god, with the glass on the okay, so Chloe, I what was it? I needed a break. I just needed a break, and if I take a break, I do kinda I might binge watch a few movies or something, like but and I do, like, total 3D. Total 3D, like, I will have a John Wick day. Like, that is who Courtney is. Yeah, I will have a time like that. So, about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago now, I don't know. I just I needed time off. I needed a day. Nobody talked to me. Nobody like, nobody. My husband knows we all, we do our thing, and I must have watched. Cause why? I don't know. I'm not it was one of those, like, I don't really have to pay attention here movies. I must have watched Final Destination 1, 2, and 3 back to back. Like, I'm just laying here, nobody talked to me. I could care less what I'm really watching. It's semi-entertaining. I totally forgot that that was my time frame. Like, that was quote unquote my prime when those movies were coming out. Oh my gosh. So sometimes that's fun too, to watch old things like that for all of us really, to look at what they're wearing and go, "Oh my god, that is how we dressed," you know? Okay, okay, Chloe's got a question, I get that. Yeah, Chloe just said, "Yeah, I get that, Court, with watching movie just nobody, just leave me alone, I'm doing my thing with my dog and my blanket." Chloe and her cats probably. So Chloe does have a question. She says, I have a friend, Emily, I met when I worked at Walmart. Come to find out, um, we spent most of our childhood together. We attended the same school, rode the same bus, and lived less than tenth of a mile from each other. Okay, is that fate? So, oh, come to find out, we spent most of. Okay, so Chloe's asking because this does happen too. The whole You get a job, you're working at Walmart, you meet some people, you meet an Emily, you jive really good with them. They're really cool. You start talking on the phone, they start becoming your friend. And then come to find out, wait a minute, we went to the same school, we were on the same school bus, we lived right down the road from each other. Why is this just happening now? Depending, right? Chloe just said we didn't know each other as kids, right? So, and then Chloe's asking, is that fate? Depending on, I want to say kind of the importance of that friendship. And that sounds so rude. It really does. And I don't mean for it to sound rude because all friends are beautiful and all people are beautiful, but you could have really good friendships right now that you don't necessarily have like a soul contract with that would make it a fate kind of situation. But then you could have something like that of like, wow, why were we never friends when we were kids? You were right in front of my face, but we meet now and we're besties and we're, ride and dies. I'd do anything for you. And they're a very significant relationship in your life, then yes, that could be a fated situation. Yeah, that could be fated. Yeah, think of, and not all soul contracts are fated, but for the most part, they are in a lot of ways. Because some, like I said before, it's not like a soul contract has to be a long, permanent relationship or situation. It could be that first boss you had that rode your ass and you had no idea why, and you will never forget that person. That could have actually been a contract that you 2 that had carried out in a past life before in somewhat similar circumstances. Um, it could be something like that, that you 2 grew up in the same area. You're probably a part of the same, like, karmic group, possibly, and you 2 are not coming together until you're much older because you're really going to help each other out with life, right? So, not and then it goes on for the duration of the rest of your life, like, you and Emily are gonna be tight as thieves from here on out. So, soul contracts, there's like, let's say the long forms, these very, very long contracts that there's a lot of addendums, right? Like, this is your kids, your parents, your family, your spouses, that kind of thing, good friends, long lasting friends, that kind of thing. Like, these people you've done this with multiple times. They're definitely a part of like your soul group. Um, these people, then yes, there might be big fated situations, right? So, but then there's like these other little contracts, just little baby contracts that are there for, you're both serving one another, but it might be the whole, this boss that's riding your ass, you finally go, no, I'm leaving this place. I'm gonna go, I know I deserve better. Something like that, that it helps you to learn how to love yourself and appreciate yourself and accept yourself. And with them, maybe it helps them, you know, learn whatever they need to learn. That's where we come into like, are they karmic lessons or life lessons, right? Um, so it can be a little baby contract. It could be a very long standing contract that you've done many times over with someone. Um, Within those long-standing ones, even the baby ones, we do kind of put those into place. Like, think about if your life was like a very long road trip. This is a very long road trip, your life, the one you're living. But before you go on the road trip, you're like, you look at your map, you take the big old map out of life, right? And you mark some stuff like, hey, I want this to really happen. This needs to happen. So you pin it. And then you pin this over here. But really, for that pin to happen, you kinda need a little bit of, like, one of those small contracts to come into place. So you're like, let's put one of these little baby pins here, because yeah, they need to be there for this big thing to happen, right? And we put pins in it. How we drive that, we might take detours. We might be circling around, lost like a mofo all the time. We might do all sorts of things. We might just take all sorts of different ways. But usually, those pins that we dropped prior to coming here, those. Now, what I will say is that, and I'll get back to you in just a minute, Chloe. What I will say is that sometimes aspects of 3D can get in the way, can truly definitely get in the way of us getting to those pins. Drugs. Drugs very much get in the way. That's not just a detour. That is you crashed, you burned, and it's gonna take a lot to get back on your road. Um, any kind of trauma, like hard trauma, that veers us off course, right? So there's also a lot of things in that if it is a long-standing something that is that traumatic and effective of your life, well, then you might not get to your pins. And sometimes you get to those pins, but it might also be too late. Like, let's say well, I'll just use drugs for an example. Everybody knows drugs, at least here in the States, affects all of our families. It affects all of our families. There's not a family, I think, in the States that has not been affected by it, period. I'm just speaking for the States and speaking in my opinion of what's out there. We all have somebody, right? Well, let's say that somebody, one of their pins was they were gonna marry the love of their life at 23, and they meet that person. That person's great, but that person doesn't wanna be with a drug addict. If that pin does not actually happen, that does shift a whole lot of things. Because think of these pins as like these are your destination points, these are your roadside attractions that very much kind of need to be there in order to get to the next one, and to get to the next one, and to get to the next one. So I'm using that as an example because we all can, well, we can all relate to it in some way. We've watched it play out either in our own lives or with others. So there are things here that very much can deter us, and also if it deters to the point that that pin just dissolves, it's gone. That girl said, "I can't do this. I got to walk away. I can't do this, no matter how much it breaks my heart." What's great about that though, so here's the hope. Yay, what's great about that is the contract could have been, "You're the love of my life. We need to be together." But usually that is a much one of those detailed soul contracts that you've been doing this over and over and over again. And I will say this to my dying breath. The majority of contracts are for you to choose yourself. That's why I always say 3D conscious living is to choose yourself. Meaning, even if that was a pin, that was fated. He's this is the girl he's supposed to marry. They're supposed to get married, right? And she realizes he is not going to let go of these drugs. This is a big problem. He's not going to let go. Well, then she walks away. She is choosing herself. That in itself breaks that contract. That if she finally says, "Yes, I'm going to go do this. I'm doing different." And then even if he's heartbroken and he needs time to heal, and hopefully he does, and Down the road, he gets his life together and he's happy with someone else. Awesome. Because within that process, even if it's taken a long time, he's chosen himself. So a lot of these contracts, I know everybody wants to meet their soulmates and yada yada. Pretty much all the contracts are for you to love yourself. Period. Are for you to love yourself. Even the little baby ones. That boss that was riding your ass, you said I'm not going to take this anymore and you left, you were choosing yourself. I think for a lot of people that's probably a hard pill to swallow. Love lost and whatnot and the complexities of life. But from our parents to how we hopefully our children are raised to be strong, independent adults, right? All of these kind of contracts with all of their complexities, they're really here to serve one another, to remind everyone, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. And then you create a new, right? So I know it's not the easiest topic to discuss. Oh, Chloe said, okay, she's been close with Emily for 14 years now. See, yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So that would be, yeah, there would be the fact that you guys never met as kids is actually probably a really good thing, Chloe. Is probably a really good thing and needed to happen that way. And that the fact that you met as adults, then yes, that is a fated aspect. That is a fated moment in life. That is a fated encounter that you grab hold on, right? That's beautiful. Yeah. Chloe just said it happens and it sucks, but you're right with all the stuff I was talking about. Rather you wallow and let it eat you, or you learn to love yourself more and put up boundaries to respect yourself. Yes. I will tell you everybody, so on August 6th, the final episode about Edgar Casey on reincarnation, we're finishing up that book that day. I've already recorded it because I'm going to be out of town. um uh will shine a lot of light onto what I just said. Or more light, I hope so. So that's August 6th. It'll air that night, I think, also at 9 o'clock. I pre-recorded because I will be out of town. Um, we're covering the conclusion of that source material, Edgar Casey, on reincarnation. But we're also covering the chapter, The Law of Grace, and how all of this stuff works together, and how all of the Um, it is about choosing yourself. It's about loving yourself, truly loving yourself. So stay tuned for that. That's August 6th. I'm positive it's gonna come out August 6th. So yeah. So Chloe, thank you for asking the question because that actually gave me material to talk about instead of like the random deers that I grew up with. Oh, Grace is amazing. Oh, I can't wait until you guys hear what Edgar says. I cannot wait. I adore him so much. Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet. I really do adore him. So genuine in his person that, and that's what it is. The more that we can have self love, be genuine, be authentic. Like for me, I created a thing the other day, and I don't even think I posted it yet, saying authenticity is the new reality. It really will be, and it should be. I hope it is, because authenticity means that you've also healed greatly and that you love yourself. enough to put those boundaries up, enough to present yourself as you are, all of that stuff. And within the authenticity of the individuals creates a whole beautiful, different kind of vibe within the collective, right? Because remember, all humans, we want love, respect, and freedom. And what really fills that is the authenticity. So being genuine, choosing yourself, like, oh, wait until that show comes out. I'm so excited. I am. I love Edgar. Oh, Seeker came in. Good to see you, my dear. I know it's so offbeat being here on a Monday. It truly is. Um, yeah, what did Edgar say? Man, now y'all got me on Edgar. Let's do a little peek. Let's do a little peek. Edgar said something that was one of the most beautiful things. And the book's right here, so why not, right? The book is right here. Come on. How are you, Miss Seeker, Miss Shelley? Oh, so everybody knows. So everybody knows there is a new show about to happen here at Stars of the Morning Light called Matrix Living. And Shelley, Seeker of Truth 2, I believe is going to be the first guest. We are working it out. We're getting it done. Yes, we are. So that's going to air in August. Oh, this line right here, beloveds. Let me read this to you. It's just amazing. So this is Edgar from a reading from the Akashic. To be sure, individuals grow in grace, in knowledge, in understanding, and as they apply that which they know, the next step is shown to them. This goes back to the road that you're driving, that road of life that is yours. We got to do the first mile to even see where we're going for the second mile, right? Sometimes, because fate is just those roadside attractions. Fate is just those, I'm going to park it here for a minute and see what happens. And I have another fate thing, pinned over here, but how I want to get there, how long it's going to take me to get there, I might drive all over this damn board until I get to that one. That's okay. It's beautiful though. Take that in again, folks. So Edgar's saying that knowledge in understanding, and as they apply that, so in understanding, knowledge with experience, right? Application is the understanding. To be sure, individuals grow in grace, in knowledge, in understanding, and as they apply that which they know, the next step is shown to them. Yeah, guys, it's going to be a great show. That's August 6th, I believe, at 9 o'clock. It's beautiful to understand grace. You're here because of it, right? We all have those moments as we start at the top of this hour here of, yeah, you ever go through something like that and you wonder if, I don't know, you did exit or the timeline shifted or something happened? I know what happened. Grace. The reason that I am the one car behind that truck on a busy 94 highway outside, going into Chicago, and that glass came flying off that truck, hitting the ground, going over my car. Grace. Grace. All that stuff that we call like life lessons and karmic lessons and this and that, grace must be within it. So we are able to obtain the lesson, the awareness gained. It's beautiful. I love grace. Oh, I love it. Hence, I even said when I was in college writing those stories about a woman named Grace who moved from Chicago down to Georgia. Never even thought about it way later in life. And down here, Grace ended up being so much in my life that I truly began to choose myself first. Truly, for to become my authentic self. It happened down here more so than anywhere before. And it's because Grace was present. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. Yes. Get ready. Oh, thank Chloe says she's so excited for Matrix Living. Yes. That is gonna be I'm already lining up people. It's gonna be such a good time. Such a good time. Probably will air on Saturday nights. I'm switching so everybody knows I am switching now to all of the different shows that I do twice a month. Twice a month. We're gonna shoot for twice a month for all the different shows. So that's twice a month, the new show, Matrix Living. Twice a month, Edgar Casey. Twice a month, my Friday noon lives now. They're noon Eastern time. Uh, Twice a month, Gabriel messages. Of course, you'll get the monthly Akashic Collective and Zodiac. So for me, that's kind of twice readings. So everything's gonna just go to this right here, what I'm doing with you, the hanging out with Courtney twice a month. Because that is still a lot, folks, but it's way more manageable. It's way more manageable because it's a lot of different shows here, a lot of different content, and I am continuously trying to create whatever shorts are coming out in that moment. Shorts and I will tell you that is a difficult shorts are difficult for me. If you I think there's different kind of creators. Um, there's ones that, man, they're shorts, they do it, they're good, they got it, that's their jam. And then there's long form creators. I'm clearly more long formed, right? So for me to do shorts, it is difficult. I am trying my best. I don't think I'm doing too bad. It is difficult though. It is very difficult for me. Oh, Chloe says she likes the hangout shows. Thank you. And Edgar, of course. Yes. Thank you. The hangout shows, I actually like this. I see a lot of channels do this. And I like it. It's real personable. And I did eat some cake, but I will tell you the cake is I think handling my lower back pain more so than releasing my brain. um yeah, because this world is not fit for me. I'm a giant. Scotty boy in one of the shorts, as I was talking about how tall I am. He made a joke of like, "How tall are you? Like feet hanging off the bed tall?" And I just said, "Well, depends on the bed, yeah." You know? Um, my lower back is in a whole lot of pain, which is it happens all the time because this world does not fit me. So here's a good way to put it. Because I am a giant, and next Tuesday is Hug a Giant Day. Uh, every public bathroom, at least in America and most homes, this is how you can maybe put it in your mind how long my legs are. So my legs are like a 36 inseam. I have very long legs, but how long they really truly are is picture in your mind you're at a restaurant, you go to the public bathroom, you're standing there washing your hands. Every bathroom sink for this body of form of mine that I'm in, that sink comes up maybe 2 inches above my kneecap. That's how much this world is not built for someone like me. So my lower back is always usually in some kind of pain because I'm having to bend down for all the little peoples of the world, which is beautiful. That's fine. But yeah, if you wanna really put it into perspective of, because 'cause I'm somewhere between 6 and 6'1", somewhere in there. But I'm all legs. Like, I have a very small torso in comparison to my legs. My inseam is like 36 and a half or something like that. It's very difficult to find clothes. Um, and yeah, all bathroom sinks out there in the world, the standard, come, yep, about 2 inches, maybe an inch and a half above my knees, folks. Above my knees. I look like a whenever I was, like, young and hanging out in the clubs, gosh, I actually hated going into the bathrooms with girls because, all the girls are in there doing their makeup and doing and I would tower over them. It was like I mean, I got used to it, and I did my thing, but because you have to accept yourself. That's the one difference about being like a body of form like mine that I will never be able to, like, just walk into a place and maybe hide in the corner. I will never be able to walk into a place and not be seen. It's not an option. Um, it does make it that you have to accept yourself, and I know I've talked about it before, but yeah, that's how tall I am. Imagine that. So that means pretty much everywhere I go, everything I do, I'm bending over to, just live life, like hardcore bending over. Oh, thanks, Shelly. Shelly said I love our classes too, like, because Shelly's a Patreon member. Thank you, Miss Shelly. Yes. Patreon, I end up it's a little bit of a different vibe. It's definitely for those who are thinkers, who not just want to experience, but also will read between the lines. Let's say that. Because that's the best. A lot of times, adult learners learn more so with what is said between the lines. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Chloe then said, "Well, the Hangout shows gives us more of Courtney the person, not Courtney the teacher. I like to see both." Yes. So, like, YouTube for me is so much more of that. Like, this is Courtney the person, even though I might be rambling about a bunch of stuff that can serve and hopefully heal. YouTube is meant to be more, personable. Oh, and Jackie J came in. All right, so I'm looking to see if there's any more questions out there. Chloe did awesome tonight. Thank you, beloved Chloe, for coming in with some questions because that made that made this show possible is how that happened. So thank you, my dear. I can't we're all connected. We cannot do this alone. Never can that be. Chloe just said you should have been a model. When I was a teenager, my mom, um, it was before, or this is way before, like full figure models really kind of came into more view. Because I'm full figured too, ladies. I'm definitely full figured. Um, and so when I was a teenager, my mom was like, "Geez, you should be a full figure model." Between my hair and my this and da da da, and before I put all these tattoos on my body, um, and I was just I was like, "No, no." If people have to look at me, I'm gonna choose which way. Like, I'm not gonna learn how to walk in heels. Like, that's not what I'm doing. But I do appreciate you saying that. Yes. So next Tuesday is Hug a Giant Day. August 5th of every year is Hug a Giant Day. And what that really means is whatever is huge in your life, appreciate it. Appreciate whatever is huge in your life. That's what that means. Oh, wow. Chloe used to model in her 20s. Wow. Wow, okay, a short one. Really? Chloe got to walk the runway. See that I no, I was like, "No, I don't wanna learn how to do all that." That's amazing, though, Chloe. That's amazing. So, I will say oh, Shelly, your mom said no. No, Shelly, no. Um, so my mom, because in high school see, this is a little fun fact. When I was in high school, I was really into art and design and also fashion. I know, right? 30 years later, I'm like, "Whatever, shirt's clean," you know? Um, and there was a school in Chicago that was actually recruiting me, and so my mom really actually wanted me to go to that school, and she said, "What do you wanna study? You wanna study interior design or fashion?" And, because I was also really good at sewing at the time, I mean, I was good with this stuff. Um, and I just told her, I said, "I don't know," and she really was trying to push me into fashion so I could design clothes for more thick women. Because definitely 80s and 90s, that it was still very difficult. I walked around with clothes really designed for, like, grandmas because they were not creating things for women my size at that time. So she really, I think, wanted me to do that. Of course, I didn't. I decided not to go that route. But yeah, that's a huge I still love interior design, I still love fashion, I don't utilize fashion in my life because I really love comfort, but I still pay attention. I sway more with the interior design though now. I know you can't tell because of this room, but if you walked into my house, I do enjoy more design, and if I could ever, like, have one of those clients that money was expendable, oh my gosh, that would be amazing what you could do with a home. Just amazing. So any questions? Oh, Chloe said her business when she was 20 doing all that stuff was spooky kids clothing. That's amazing. Jackie J did Barbizon in the 90s. Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys remember Barbizon? Yes. Yes. This is great. I love it. This is how we connect. We all have very similar experiences, regardless of how they played out and the characters within them and the settings. Doesn't matter. It's all the same, man. It's all the same of the one symphony that we're just all these beautiful notes within it. Excellent. Corsets. All right. So if we're done with any questions from Chloe, Shelly, Jackie J, anybody else listening, there's 6 people out there in the world. This was fun, folks. This was fun. I do appreciate doing this. I enjoy hanging out with people, and this is my personality. This is who I am. So I really do enjoy hanging out with people. Um, all right. I think we're I think we just had a good time, and I think the ladies in the chat being able to relate like that yeah, being able to relate like that, yeah, thank you, Miss Chloe. Um, that's fun. That's always good. See, these are the actual conversations that we have, like, when we're sitting around a bonfire together, and everybody goes, "I did Barbizon, I did this, I did that." Yeah, we're all together, we're all one. We all experience the same stuff. It's great. Oh, thank you, Jackie. She said she's gonna go back and listen. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and thank you all the ladies that came into the chat. Chloe, Seeker, Jackie, good to be with you. Thank you, definitely Chloe, for helping me through this one. And congratulations to Chloe. Chloe's crystals is on its way of becoming the most beautiful business of balance and flow of resources and harmony. Yes, yes, yes. So, congratulations, Chloe. To all that's out there, keep shining stars. I'll see you guys later. Good night, everybody.